When I heard the news that DeMarcus Cousins signed with the Warriors, I immediately thought, oh god, not again. A couple of summers ago, you had the second best player in Kevin Durant to a 73-win team. Now, you add the best center to back-to-back champions and have an all-star starting five. That's just not fair. But the more I thought about this, the more I understood that it's a shot in the dark whether DeMarcus will be an all-star again. I wouldn't have my doubts with any other injury, but man, those Achilles are real career killers. There's only one player in the NBA history to ever come back as good or close to as good as he was before the Achilles injury, and that's Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins was averaging 28-7 before the injury, and he was averaging 28-7 after the injury, so there was no notable statistical drop, but otherwise he wasn't as explosive as he once was. And that's the greatest example. Others haven't been so good. One of the more recent examples is Wesley Matthews, who was a defensive ace for Portland while averaging almost 16 points per game. He suffered Achilles injury in March 2015, and boy was that a bad time, because Matthews was having his best season as a pro and looking for some big bucks in the free agency market. Considering his injury and Portland's sad history when it comes to injured players, he didn't receive an offer he was looking for, so he signed with the Mavericks. He started his season okay, and even had a 36-point game along the way, but even 3 years later, it still looks like he's worse than before the injury. His numbers are lower, he isn't as quick on defense, and his pull-up jumper, especially at the mid-range, isn't where it used to be. There also is a Kobe Bryant as well. He suffered his Achilles injury in March 2015. Now, what DeMarcus Cousins has over Kobe is definitely his age. Kobe was already 34 at the time, already starting to decline a bit, but the injury just boosted that decline to a whole nother level. Kobe played only in 6 games the next season, in 35 games the season after that, and 66 games in his last season. He was dealing with other injuries as well, but mostly it was his Achilles that didn't allow him to be the player he once was. After the injury, he averaged 19 points on just 37% shooting from the field. Another notable example is Elton Brand. Brand looked like a superstar and was super athletic. He was averaging 20 and 10 in his sleep, but unfortunately right in the middle of his prime, he suffered an Achilles injury in an off-season workout. He was 28 at the time. Brand played just 8 games that season and just 29 games the next season. He was back to pretty much full health once the 2009-2010 season came around, but he never was the great big man and a possible Hall of Famer if not for the injury. In his best season, he averaged 15 and 8, and other seasons were less and less productive, until he retired in 2016. And there are a lot of other players like Rudy Gay, Anderson Varejao, Mehmet Okur, and Chauncey Billups who recovered but just never were the same. And the thing you need to remember about Cousins is what his Achilles has to hold. Even guards have had problems recovering from Achilles injuries, and Cousins is a 7 feet 280 pound center. He might just have a similar recovery and results as Elton Brand did, an all-star before the injury and just a solid center afterwards. I don't like Golden State because I finally want someone else to win the championship, but I'm sure as hell I'm rooting for Cousins to recover, stay on the level he was before the injury, and prove that Achilles injury is not a career-ending injury anymore. So, should the NBA be scared of this move? No, because first of all, Cousins most likely won't be ready for the start of the season. Second of all, he will be gradually implemented into Warriors' system, and he most likely won't be playing the same minutes he did before the injury, so he won't have a chance to be as productive as he was. And thirdly, it's still the Achilles, man. It has a bad history with NBA players, and DeMarcus Cousins is a big body to carry. What do you think? When does DeMarcus come back? How good of a player will he be? Leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe for future NBA content. This was Purple Prince, and I'm out.
On a mission looking for them bad guys. Can't run no play over my head, I'm real wise. Look at his eyes wide, think he traumatized. Take me as a joke, I'ma hang him on the road. Cause where I'm from, we don't play Free, cause we know you gon' choke. Talk behind my back, but your shots backfire. I know you tried, but you never could survive.